Hello, everybody. Swamp Fox News, Cooks, and Reviews coming at you. Tonight, 7 o'clock, newscast, news blast. Give it a minute to let a few people get in, and we'll start the show. Friends Code, how you doing? Thank you for being here. Appreciate you showing up. Hope you're having a good night. Or day, whatever part of the world you're in. Thomas Drywall, how you doing? Thank you for showing up. Appreciate you being here. Y'all make sure y'all smash that like button. Thank you so much. Appreciate it. Yep, Mom, it's just me. David Bradshaw, good to see you, brother. How's everybody doing tonight? Good, I hope. Got some really good stories. Yeah, that's easy. It's on my video. I'll go to it in just a few minutes. Okay, let me do my what you can do is you can either go to my page and you can click on where it says videos, and it'll pull up all my videos, and it says how to repair a hot water heater or a water heater and save $650, I believe. And it shows you how to drain it, how to how to undo, turn the electric off, and make sure you ain't got no power. Take the elements out, replace them, and the thermostat's real easy. It'll take you, probably, well, it depends on the size of the tank, how long it takes to drain. 80 gallons take about an hour, hour and a half to drain. And once they're drained, though, then it takes about 20, maybe 30 minutes tops to take the elements out and the thermostats and put them back in. So that's not a problem at all. But if you're able to stay to the end, I will go ahead and play that video as well, um, and show it to you. Okay. Uh, Jenny Jones, Beach Gal, how you doing? Thank you for showing up. Lady D, we appreciate you being here. Okay, I'm going to go ahead and start the show. Now, this first story is going to blow your mind. Cops called on a 6-year-old girl with autism who pretended to shoot teacher with her fingers. She made a gun and act like she was shooting a teacher. They literally investigated at the school, and they called the police and had the police terrorize this poor autistic little girl who was just frustrated. She's 6 years old, and they literally terrorized her and interrogated her just to find out, of course, they they don't believe she really intends on hurting the teacher. Carlos Miller, guys. This is by Carlos Miller. The girl has Down syndrome. I said autism, I'm sorry. Has Down syndrome and was frustrated that day, but school officials treated it like a threat assessment. 6-year-old Margaret, a kindergarten student with Down syndrome from Pennsylvania, was acting out of frustration when she pointed her finger at her teacher and said, "I shoot you," last November, according to her mother. But the gesture unsettled the teacher, who marched her down to the principal's office, where they conducted a threat assessment in which they probed her with questions before concluding the girl did not really intend to follow through on her threat. I mean, come on, you gotta be kidding me. They really thought she was. Nevertheless, the principal said he was obligated by school district to call police to allow them to conduct their own threat assessment. After all, there is no child too young for the school to prison to the prison pipeline, described by the ACLU as a disturbing national trend wherein children are funneled out of the public schools and into juvenile and criminal justice system. Essentially, minor infractions committed by children during school hours that merit detentions are turned into a criminal violation that lead to jail time for the children and the profits for the private prisons, according to the ACLU. And that's 100% true. I think y'all have heard me say this before, that if you can't afford it and you have kids, and like you're married, for instance, and you can afford to have one of you in the family, if both of you work, if one of you could take a part-time job, if you can afford that and homeschool your kids, or quit one of you quit altogether. I mean, again, if you can afford it and just homeschool your kids, or if you still have to work 40 hours a week and still homeschool your kids, that is the best way for them to get the truth, to not become indoctrinated. And really, I mean, it's terrible the way the schools are today. Big Tim Hill News, thank you for being here. We appreciate you showing up, brother. Oregon Road, thank y'all for being here. But this is a tragedy. I mean, they terrorize this little girl. She's 6. Could you really believe? And she's, that she's gonna shoot the teacher. I mean, come on. It's literally unbelievable the way these tyrants do. Uh, Here we go again. With tyrant cops getting butthurt and literally hurting people for their safety. You know what I mean? The excuse that this cop used for tasering this guy was because it's not safe to pop wheelies. So he tasers him off his bicycle and makes him wreck his bike. And for the citizens' safety, okay? It's just unbelievable. Body cam footage was released last week showing Orlando police officer Peter Mayar, tasering a teen on a bicycle. Orlando police officer Peter Mayar was determined to stop a 19-year-old man after spotting him popping a wheelie on his bicycle as he rode through an intersection with 2 other friends on bikes. It was for the teen's safety, after all. Mary said that he first flashed his patrol lights and called the teens over, but they rode away instead. He then began pursuing them in his patrol car, attempting to stop them by driving in front of them, blocking their path. But they kept riding around him. Finally, after a few times of doing this, he called for backup. Once the second cop arrived, Mier tasered the teen, knocking him off his bike. The other cop then rushed in and planted his knee on the teen's back. Put your hands behind your back. I'm going to effing tase you, the second cop says. When a cop tells you to stop, you stop, one of the cops tells the teen, proving once again it was never about safety but about control. After all, tasering the teen while riding his bike places him more at risk for injury than popping a wheelie. It is also against department policy, which is why Meyer was investigated and disciplined with a written censure. The incident took place in May, and Meyer was disciplined in October. However, body cam video from both officers of the incident was not released until last week, according to Orlando Sentinel. In a filed report, Meyer wrote that he tried pulling in front of the rider about 3 to 5 times to stop him. Every time I got out of my patrol car and pulled in front to stop him, he and the 2 males would ride their bicycles around my patrol vehicle, at times into traffic on West Oak Ridge Road, Mier wrote. Mier called for backup, and one point, as the offending biker rider pedaled towards the entrance of the club at Millennial Apartments, Mier got out of his vehicle and ran toward him. Video from another officer's body cam shows the teen bike around 2 police vehicles as officers chase him into an apartment complex. Mier then runs up on him and shocks him, causing him to fall off his bike. The fall caused scrapes to his arm and punctures to his abdomen where the probe struck him. He also complained of pain in his left shoulder, which he had recently had surgery on. Wow. The teen, whose name was not released, was initially charged with resisting arrest, and the judge later withheld a conviction for a less traffic infraction of the failing to obey a lawful order. Man, I tell you what, popping a wheelie now. So you kids out there popping wheelies on your bicycles, you better be careful, because if there's a piggy around, he'll sure shoot you with his taser. And if you're lucky, it'll just be his taser, because it might end up being his gun. You see that cops this week I've showed you has shot kids in the back for having airsoft guns in their hand, little plastic BB guns, with an orange tip, proving that, it wasn't a real gun. It's absolutely insane what these cops do. Now, here's another case where cops or a cop tries to shoot another dog, just because the dog's barking. He shoots at the dog, misses, and shrapnel from the bullet hits two innocent bystanders. The dog's owner was struck in the face by the shrapnel. A barking dog startled a cop into pulling out his gun and shooting, but missing. However, shrapnel from the bullet struck two bystanders, including the security guard who had called police about a man creating a disturbance, as well as a man himself. The dog was also struck by the shrapnel. You you shot me. You shot me in the eye, dude, says the man who is being manhandled by other officers for creating an alleged disturbance. The dog, which appeared to have recently been adopted, survived by running into a Safeway grocery store and hiding under somebody's legs. Wow. Sacramento, even the dogs are scared of police. Sacramento police said the dog bit a cop in the arm, which is why he called for backup. This is not apparent in the video released by police. Police also said an aggressive dog physically charged the officer, but that is debatable. What is shown in the video is the dog calmly sitting on the sidewalk while a cop lays on top of his owner, hardly a guard dog and much less of a threat. The security guard who called the cops is the man standing over them. The dog stands up with its tail wagging when two more cops come rushing in to the partake in the arrest, still obviously to its owner's arrest. It's not until the security guard kicks the dog behind from its hind legs that it turns around and began barking at him. The dog even charges at him, but the guard backs away and the dog backs off before turning towards the cop and barking. The cop pulls out the gun and fires. Man, I tell you what, these are some awful people, man. They seen that the guy kicked the dog to make the dog even bark the first time. He watched his owner being traumatized and he didn't do a thing until he got kicked. And because he got kicked, now this punk cop wants to pull out the gun and kill the dog. Jandy Jordanson, who's shopping in the Safeway when the dog apparently ran and covered in blood, very scared, shaking like a leaf. She just ran to the back of the store and hid underneath my legs, Jordanson said. She wasn't aggressive. She was real sweet. Jorgensen said the dog was still wearing tags from the Front Street Animal Shelter, possibly indicating that the dog had been recently adopted. More cops come rushing in, which the incident took place Wednesday evening around 7 p.m. Police have not described exactly what kind of disturbance the man was making. Yeah, he was probably photographing, in public, taking pictures of the buildings and stuff. Something like that. You know how security guards are. Man, y'all, listen. All auditors better be very, very careful out there. It's a tragedy, man. All right, this next story is again by Carlos Miller. Nevada cops charge man for creating a public nuisance when he's asked for their badge numbers. A blatant act of thuggery was caught on video last month when a group of North Las Vegas police officers beat and arrested a man for recording on his own driveway. The man had demanded their badge numbers. Police called that a public nuisance. The video shows they were the public nuisance, which is true. They then threatened to arrest another man on scene, charging for saying he wasn't breaking no law and call an ambulance. They really effed him up. Another cop threatened to arrest the man for misusing 911 if he dared to call 911 to report the cops' criminal actions. Not that it would have made any difference because they're all part of the same Blue Line gang, of course. Blue ISIS thugs. I had lived on that, y'all. The cops were arresting a woman for unknown reasons when the man asked for their badge numbers. The incident took place on November 16, 2019, and was posted on the YouTube channel of Nevada attorney Stephen P. Stubbs with the following info. On November 16, 2019, in North Las Vegas, Terrell Gregory noticed police activity at his friend's neighbor's house, stood at the end of his driveway and recorded police from his property. He also demanded the names and badge numbers from the police officers, which they would not give. He was then forcibly arrested for public nuisance, specifically for yelling and screaming in the middle of the street, which he never was. He was in his driveway, and in his driveway, causing several neighbors to come outside, disturbing the quiet of the neighborhood. He was also arrested for obstruction and resisting arrest, although for protesting the police action verbally. Anyway, 3:45, the main arresting officer threatens a different neighbor also in his driveway with arrest for public nuisance if the neighbor doesn't shut up. The neighbor was yelling, "He wasn't breaking no law," and call an ambulance. They really effed him up. The female arresting officer threatens neighbors with arrest. Misuse of 911 is they if they call police to report them is what it should have said, not is if. But anyway, so they're standing in their own driveway and they're watching cops violate another citizen's rights. And because they're talking to the cop saying, "Hey, give me your badge number. Hey, what's your name?" The cop goes over there, beats the crap out of him, and arrests him for that's all he did. And they said it was for public nuisance. And they beat the crap out of him. It's totally horrible what these pigs get away with. And there's so many people out there that literally believe that cops are good. You know, all cops are good, and they're not. Not all of them. Maybe about 1% out there are good. Which the lady who actually told on that other cop in that video I did the other day, I believe she's a good cop. She did the right thing. And I will say this, the two Capitol State Police cops that ran in to save Steve Scalise, that congressman, that day that they was being shot at with a high-powered rifle, and they went in with just handguns and took out that thug, that Bernie Sanders, the guy that worked for Bernie Sanders, that was trying to kill them congressmen on that baseball field that day. I believe them two cops are heroes. I believe one of them got shot, if not both of them, but they're both still alive. But they took out that threat, and they ran into the threat versus them Broward County cops who let that kid supposedly go through the school shooting it up where they stood outside. So, you know, I guess there are some good cops out there. All right, now this next story where they beat this homeless guy and they're beating him up and they're telling him to turn over, turn over, turn over, but he's got his knee and his full body on the guy. The Louisville Police Department is investigating the incident captured on video by a bystander. A Kentucky cop was caught on video repeatedly punching a man in the face while ordering him to turn over. The only problem was the unidentified Louisville police officer was making it impossible for him to turn over by planting his knee and full body weight on the man. The Louisville police say Foycine Pimba had been harassing people in the parking garage of an office building Tuesday morning. The video recorded by a bystander began after the police have taken Pimba to the ground and are trying to handcuff him. The video shows two officers on top of Pimba, who is lying on his back when he appears to strike the cop in the face with his fist, which is when the cop unleashes a flurry of punches to his face while ordering him to turn over. According to an arrest report, officers were called to the parking garage at PNC Tower in downtown Louisville just before 9:45 a.m. Tuesday, after someone reported that a man was harassing people and causing a disturbance. When officers arrived, they say they found a security holding a 29-year-old Foycine Pimba in a bear hug. Police say security employees told them they tried to escort Pimba off the property, but he became combative and they were unable to remove him. Police say they tried to put Pimba in handcuffs, but he put his hands in front of his waist and refused to follow instructions to put his hands behind his back. According to the arrest report, officers then took Pimba to the ground where he continued to fight for about 1 minute. Police say they then tried to tase Pimba, who refused to follow directions. At that point, police say Pimba hit one of the officers in the face, cutting him over his left eye. That officer then hit Pimba with an empty hand bull crap to attempt to gain compliance. Pimba was eventually handcuffed and hobbled. Yeah, he beat him with a closed fist in his face over and over and over. Pimba was charged with 2 counts of assault on a police officer, 1 count of resisting arrest, 1 count of disorderly conduct, and 2 counts of criminal trespass. He's being held on $5,000 cash bond. Yeah, and the cops are the ones who need to be held on any kind of bond, that's for sure. Here's some good news, though. Some really good news. Carlos Miller, guy. This story's again by Carlos Miller. This high-paid cop facing decades in prisons for crimes that he got caught in, and so luckily he's going to be maybe going to prison. Baltimore Police Sergeant Ethan Newberg established a pattern and practice of harassment and intimidation for years. Baltimore Police Sergeant Ethan Newberg racked up overtime hours by destroying innocent lives, a thug of a cop who made up the laws as he went, along with punching citizens who dared question his tactics or record his arrest. He was the highest paid officer on the force when he ran after a man who had criticized him for making another man sit on the sidewalk last May. Lee Dotson was walking away when Newberg sprinted up to him and grabbed him, prompting Dotson to pull away from him. Another cop tackled Dotson to make the unlawful arrest. Newberg then shoved Dotson's face into the street while the other cop drove his knees into his back. Take your charge like a man, Newberg repositioned when Dotson demanded to know what crime he had committed. Now it's time for Newberg to take his charge like a man. 32 counts to be exact. Charges range from assault, false arrest, and official misconduct. Enough to send him to prison for more than 100 years, where he would join about a dozen other Baltimore cops who have been sentenced to prison in the recent years. A street gang involving a prison gang. Exactly. Newberg was 49, was indicted after investigators reviewed 12 months of footage from his own body camera. That is so funny that these stupid idiots will break laws with their own body cameras and at that point not delete the footage. It's like, dang, you delete the footage for everything else, but you'll go out and break the law and leave it for people to see. But they're so used to the internal affairs just, looking a blind eye to it and just letting them go on about their business. He never thought, being a top cop, that he was going to get punished. Establish a pattern and practice of harassment and intimidation. Many of those crimes were committed while milking the taxpayer overtime, making $260,000 in the 2019 fiscal year, more than any other city police officer, including the police commissioner and mayor. So that's some good news. I think I started saying that story the other night. But anyway, now he's the 20th Baltimore police officer to have either been suspended, sentenced, or arrested this year alone for crimes committed in the line of duty. Judging by his arrogance in the video, Newberg believed that he was invincible, untouchable after 24 years on the force. Nobody was going to tell him what to do. Towards the end of the video, he accuses a fellow cop of interfering when the cop suggests Newberg calm down and relax in the moments following Dotson's arrest. Don't ever interfere, Newberg began to say. His natural response to anybody who criticized him, except that he quickly realizes he would not be able to arrest the cop for interfering as he did Dotson. Just leave my scene. Go, go. Don't ever tell me how to do my job, Newberg tells the cop while shoving him away, obviously to the fact his 2-decade career was about to come to a crashing end. Newberg was arrested and charged with assault, false arrest, and official misconduct about a week later after Police Commissioner Michael Harrison got wind of the video. Harrison had been at the helm of only 3 months and outside of hire for New Orleans. Good. So there's another good cop. Harrison must be a good cop because he told on that 24-year cop, and that cop got not only fired but arrested. So, all right. Hey, man, this week I found a couple good cops, so that's pretty awesome so far. Let's see if they stay good cops. Charges of interfering were also dismissed against Dawson as investigators began looking at all Newberg's body cam footage for 12 months preceding his arrest, which was when they determined he had established a pattern of abuse, although it was already well established on the streets and among his peers that he was a bad cop, a role he played with pride. I'm the sergeant they talk about, he would tell the people he harassed. His behavior went unchecked until the arrival of the new police commissioner, according to Baltimore Sun. Well, that's pretty awesome, man. They got a new commissioner, and he got his walking papers, so that's pretty dang good. So, well, anyway, for those of you who stuck around, I know I didn't show no videos tonight. I have a reason for that. Videos will come back tomorrow, or I'm sorry, Monday shows. I'll be bringing back the videos, and if I'll go through my Monday show showing the stories and the videos that I have, and then I will go show all these videos that I skipped tonight. There is a reason I skipped them, um, and but I'll be back with videos on Monday. But at least y'all got to hear the stories. Now so that is the end of my newscast for tonight. But I am gonna sit and chat for a few minutes. Anybody who wants to stick around can. I'm gonna go to my video of the water heater repair that I did. So um, y'all can see that. And I believe it was Armour said he needed to repair his neighbor's water heater. So y'all bear with me on a second. And I'll find that video. But I thank y'all for the ones who showed up. Please make sure you smash that like button if you hadn't. Let me go through and say hi to people who are here. James Barnes, thank you for showing up. Spike Love, how you doing? Good to see you here. Thank you so much. Suspicious Activity. And again, I'm sorry for no videos tonight, guys. I know y'all love the videos. Mind Bender, Oregon Rogue, Eric Merritt. Let's see. South Carolina Swamp Fox. Hey, darling, how you doing tonight? Glad to see you here. Emma, none of yours. Thank you, sweetheart, for being here. Glad to see you. Let's see. Good bit of people in the house tonight. Lady DMS Free. Glad to see you here. Slain 2. I gotta make you a mod. I got a new person in the house. Y'all, everybody make sure y'all showed Slain 2. LMAO. Some love. Go to his channel. Show him some love, y'all. He's now a mod. Hopefully he'll come back and be part of our family. We love everybody. BK Greg. Want to make you a mod also. Thank you for being here. Everybody go show BK Greg some love as well, please. And if y'all show our people in chat some love back, and we'll all grow each other's channels, y'all. And y'all know what I mean by show us some love. We don't say the S word around here. And in one, how you doing tonight? I want to throw out a call out to Zachary again, in case Zachary's in the house tonight. Louie had asked me to do that. If y'all remember, I did that last night. MD, how you doing? Thank you for being here. Got a lot of people in that. Country Boy News. Country Boy. Country Boy is a married man now. Mama Country done made him an honest man. Hey, that's awesome. Good to see you here, Country Boy News. Michigan man, thank you for showing up. I appreciate you being here. Y'all are all awesome. I love you all. I appreciate it. Beach Gal 818. I really do appreciate all y'all. Big Tim Hill News again. Thank you for being here. David Bradshaw. Jenny Jones. Let's see. Friends Code. All right. Friends Code was first in the house tonight, y'all. All right. The People Liberty. Thank you for being here. Oh, that's right. Carolina Guardian. That's right. Carolina Guardian is SC Swamp Foxes. Remember last week I was saying, I know her son's an otter, but I can't remember his name. And I'm bad with remember names at first, but I'll get it. But that's awesome. And y'all make sure. Oh, wait, Richard Davis, I got to make you a mod. Richard, thank you for being here. Thank you for being in our chat. Hope you'll keep coming back and being a part of our family. Louie, no problem, brother. You tell Zachary I say hello, and I look forward to seeing him when I come to Michigan. All right. That's awesome. But yeah, Carolina Guardian. Y'all make sure y'all go to Carolina Guardian also. That is SC Swamp Fox's son. And they are out pounding the pavement, y'all. They're doing it. So we need to show them support and help them out and grow their channels, y'all. All right, let me find that video real quick. Come on, load. Yeah, and anybody, that's my dogs, they want to come in. I'm not. Somebody was one night, I told y'all that and saying in chat, oh, they need to go to the bathroom. They're trying to tell you that, but they're actually wanting to come in. I lock them out during my news shows because you hear they'll go off uh, like crazy when like one little noise goes outside. So, let's see. Wood floors and stock. I'm also going to go to High Desert's page. I don't know if y'all seen High Desert Community Watches. He was going to put a video on. I talked to him, physically talked to him last night. Um, and they got a newborn, beautiful baby girl. And I believe he said 6 pounds, 19 inches long. He sent me a picture. She's so beautiful. And so I'm going to mirror his video at the end so y'all can see her. She's such a beautiful baby. And y'all know High Desert Community Watch Phil. Let's see. Come on. Man, I got so many videos. Now I see why you wanted me to find it. If I have to, I'll just type it in. Come on. Hope everybody's doing good tonight, though. Let's see. All right. Oh, yeah, we're getting close. Here we go. How to repair a water heater and save yourself Wait, how to repair a water heater yourself and save $650. That's the name of the video. I'll go ahead and play it while we're. Oh, come on. No, I don't want to pay for nothing. I get everything for free. Fox News coming at you. Like, subscribe, and share. This is just going to be a real quick video. I'm going to show y'all how to save some money. And this is something you can do yourself. If you ever have a water heater go out, what I'm doing right now is, here's the deal about tank water heaters, okay? As long as they're not leaking, you can repair them over and over and over. If the housing's good, it's not rusted through, and there's no leaks anywhere, it's going to keep causing you a continuous water bill, then there's things that can be done to repair a water heater over and over and over. And so this is what I'm doing today. This is I'm underneath a baptismal right now. See that right here, the stairs going down? That's for baptismal. And the water was real hot the other day, and they didn't understand why, because nobody had turned up the thermostat. Well, the thermostat, that's one there, and there's a lower one right there. So I'm just going to show y'all real quick. I've already done a lot of this stuff. First thing you got to do is drain it. So I came in, there was no hole. I popped a hole in the cement wall with a
3/4 inch bit, and I put a 5-inch hose, or excuse me, 5/8 hose through the wall and drained the water heater. And then I went ahead and I already took the old one of these out. This is the thermostat, okay? I took it out and I started putting it in. I'm going to wire it back in. Now, this is your element. And the element itself is still good because the water was hot. You know what I'm saying? This bottom right here, okay? That's your element, and it comes out real simple. You just take this tool right here, okay? It's just, it looks like a spark plug wrench from a lawnmower, and you just put it right on. Let's see if I can get this video. I'm sorry. You just put it right over the edge of that big thing right here. And you take it out. You got to make sure it's drained because water will come out if it's not. Now see, this is your element.
Now I'm going to stop this video for a second. Now I had already broke it free. Now it won't come out that easy. And the end of that spark plug looking thing, it's got 2 holes where you stick a screwdriver in the end and then you turn it, and that's how it breaks free. It's not going to turn that easy. It's going to be harder than that, and you need to put some weight on it when you're tightening it back down so it don't leak. But other than that,
a little bit, that's going to happen over time, but it's still good. But I'm already here. The kit you can buy from Lowe's or Home Depot are about $30-$40, depending on which ones you get. This one here,
A.O. Smith is good.
And it comes with 2 thermostats and the 2 brand new elements. So hey, a lot of places would just put the thermostats in and charge you for that, and then when the element goes out, come back and charge you. I don't operate like that. Okay? I come in, hey, we're changing out the thermostat. Let's do the elements. Change out the elements. Let's do the thermostat. You got the kit, might as well do it all. So that's what you have to do. So then what you do, of course, is just reverse what I did. You stick the new element back in, you hook all the wires up, and you hook the thermostat back up. Now, these thermostat, where they're wired, it has 1, 3, 2, and 4. And so, you just either write it down, what color wire goes where on what number, or take a video of it. And then you can slow it down and go back and reference, because, you got red wires, blue wires, black wires, or white wires, or yellow wires, I'm sorry, on this one. And so, if you get confused, then you can just go back and reference your video. But this will save you a lot of money, guys. Most companies will come in when an element's gone,
yeah, 6 years
and try to talk you into getting a new water heater and saying, well, it's old and da-da-da. Well, hey, look, you can do that, but like this average water heater right here is about $400 just for the water heater. And then to get people to take out the old water heater to drain it, it takes about 30, 40 minutes to drain one of these. And so, you're looking at all that time. And I always say, if it ain't broke, don't fix it. So if the tank's not busted where it's leaking water, causing you a high water bill, and moisture problems in your home, then why buy a new one? So this is something you can do yourself, folks. Make sure the power's off. Let me say that real quick. Make sure that you turn the power off, which I did. And once the power's off and you can mess with all these wires, it won't hurt you at all. And then once you get it all back together, it's secure, go ahead and fire it back up. Now listen, when you do this on your own, there's some steps you need to follow, because you can turn right around.
Listen carefully to these steps you need to follow and rewatch this video when you're doing it.
Around and burn your brand new elements out. Okay. So once you get it all back in and back together, make sure you fill the water heater completely up. And then don't turn the power on yet. Still, after it's full, open up that valve, make sure you get the air out, go open up several of your faucets throughout the house, get the air line out of everything, and that helps the tank itself get all the air out of the tank. Because what will happen is you got 2 elements. You got a higher element and a lower element. Now some smaller, this is like a 40-something gallon. So let's see. So this is like a 40-something gallon. So you have a upper and a lower element and thermostat. So some of them only have one, but what happens is they have to be full, because if you dry fire them, you'll burn the element right up. It'll literally burn up. It has to be in water. So if you turn it on too soon, you're going to burn up your brand new element you just installed. The thermostat will be fine, but then the element, which is these things, these are what heat the water actually, you'll burn that right back up, and it actually break in half. It'll burn right through. It's a hot rod, but the way it's designed is it has to have the water to keep it, cool to a certain temperature. So make sure that all the air is out, and you'll do that by opening several faucets, and you'll hear the air going, and it'll blow it all out eventually. And then you come in here and you just barely pull on this one a little bit, a couple times to make sure water's flowing out, because it's going to drop water. You don't want to open it all the way. Just do it a little bit easy as you hear the air pushing out. And once it's solid water, you're good. Then after that, everything's good and the water's flowing good, turn the power on. These little tanks probably, you're going to fill warm water after about 20 minutes, but give it about an hour to warm up real good, and then check it. And so, anyway, so I just saved you guys, really.
So that's about the end of the video. And, it's real easy, and you don't have to, again, a tank water heater, as long as it's not leaking, you can fix it over and over and over for about $50. Swamp Fox, thanks for the news. No problem at all. No problem at all. Glad to do the news. My kids never allowed to play with guns. Hey, Swamp Fox, have you heard of a swamp cooler? Yeah, swamp cooler is like a little plastic, or you can make it out of several different things, like and it's got like a little fan on it and stuff. And is that what you're talking about? People's Liberty? My kids was never allowed to play guns. So super soaker run. I seen how cops' jobs so dangerous last year. 938 or so. Right, exactly. Being citizens looks much like exactly. You are 9 times more likely to be murdered by police in the United States than any random stranger, a domestic terrorist, or even a shooter. What do they call them? Did you learn about bleeding the air out the hard way? Well, I haven't done one, but I have heard about them. And I know somebody who has told me about that one that they've had before. But I don't really know much. Like, I've never done one, and I've never had one. But I do know a little bit about them. Let's see. When 7 do they worry kids shoot water guns? I know, it's like they're going to have to ban everything now because you're going to get killed. You can't even. I'd be scared to give my kid a water gun because the cop would say, "Oh, it was a flamethrower. I had to shoot him. He was going to burn me." Son, even drainage change real quick. Oh my God, a 6-year-old. Yeah, it's crazy. Check out Justin Poland's channel. Justin Poland's channel. Richard's saying to go to Justin. I might be saying the name wrong, but Pulians. Y'all go check out his channel and show him some love for Richard, please. Let's see. There's A.O. Smith. Yeah, A.O. Smith is a good water heater. Yeah, GE's pretty good too. They're all about the same, really, to tell you the truth. Some of them have ceramic tanks, though, and some of them have galvanized tanks. The ceramic tanks are better, in my opinion. Let's see, because you got a better chance of them never breaking. I mean, the eventually that metal is going to eat through. That calcium and all that stuff inside that tank will eat through and finally cause a rust hole and it'll start leaking. Let's see. You were talking about the dogs protecting you. If anybody comes in my house, cop, whatever, will attack you. Yeah, I heard that, Louis. Let's see. I mean, your case isn't going well when the judge calls Second Amendment activists nuts. Yeah, right. Yeah. Well, any judge that thinks the Second Amendment is nuts they don't deserve to be a judge. I mean, they're here to. All judges and cops and everybody else are here supposedly to protect the Constitution. They swear an oath to uphold something they really know nothing about. Swamp Fox News, let's make one. Emma, let's make one what? I'm sorry, I don't remember what part of the conversation that was from. I'm sorry. We was talking about a bunch of different things. But I'm in, let's make it. I run one all over some people today. Fox's son's channel. Swamp, South Carolina. Anybody heard about Blind Joe? Oh, well, I know that Jeff is here. Audits did a video about Blind Joe the other night. Said he is out of jail, and that's about all he wanted to say. He wanted Blind Justice to do his own video about everything going on. Jeff didn't want to put his business out on the street because he wasn't sure exactly what he'd want to say. So he is out of jail though, and I believe he's at home, recuperating, and that was like a day or two ago. So I believe he's at least that. What time for swamp rest now? Or time for swamp road? James Jefferson. Oh my God, he's correct. James Jefferson. Suspicious activity is saying go show some love to James Jefferson's channel, y'all. James Jefferson's channel. So let's show them some love as well. Seriously, they're asking me for like who's lying, who lives in my house, where I work. It's all the questions from the night. Yeah, ain't none of their business who live. Well, I don't even do no census. You know what? I don't look every time that I've been alive and I've got a census that showed up to my door. I throw it right in the trash. It ain't none of their business who lives in my house, how many people live in my house, or none of that. I don't even, you know. And if they knock on the door, I don't answer. That's one thing. Even my friends will tell you. I love everybody. But if I don't know you coming, I'll be sitting on my chair, my recliner, and be watching TV, and somebody can knock on my door, and I don't even get up. Um, now, it generally, uh, if I have my camera set up and I see you walk past the camera, then I would know, okay, who it was. But um, if I don't answer the door to somebody, if I don't know you coming, then to me you're just a perfect stranger or the mailman or something like that, and I just don't answer the door. Because you never know who's on the other side of it, and I'm not answering the door to some rogue cop that might shoot me thinking that I'm some burglar or something like that, like that innocent kid that got shot in the video I played yesterday. Anyway, I have actually a video on the judge calling Second Amendment lovers nuts. Wow. And you got that on your channel, People Liberty? I'll play that. Oh, that's right. Let me go to, y'all bear with me a minute. Let me get to Phil's channel a second. Let's see if Phil posted his video. Yeah, he sent me a picture. I talked to him on the phone. He's so happy. Alright, let's see. Come on, stupid computer. Don't look like he posted it yet, I guess. So yeah, he said he's going to be posting a video. He was going to try to do it last night. I guess he hasn't had a chance to do it yet. But make sure y'all, even though he hasn't had a chance to do it, hold on. Let me check one more place. Oh wait, no, here it is. I'm sorry. I found it. Bear with me. She's so beautiful. Phil's a great guy. He really is. Bear with me a second. Come on, stop, you idiot. I'm trying not to play any videos. That may mess up what I was trying to do tonight, that little video playing, but oh well, I don't care. Alright. Come on. Oh, this is probably going to do it too, but that's okay. I don't care. I want to show. Oh, Phil's baby. Alright. Come on. I swear to God, I hate this computer. It's got a mind of its own. It does whatever it wants. Oh, Lord. There it goes again. I'm sorry, guys. This computer is so stupid. All right, here we go. I'll check her out.
Alright, this is Philip with High Desert Community Watch. And I know you guys, I haven't been out with a lot of people lately. I haven't been traveling lately. I haven't said much about this, but I'm going to show you guys why I've been staying kind of low key. We've been preparing, and this is what we were preparing for.
Autotron, how are you not a mod? You are now a mod. I thought you already was a mod.
It's
I don't know what happened.
little baby Iris. But this is why we've been busy.
Look at that beautiful little baby.
Sedition, High Desert Community Watch.
Look at that little camera in her left hand.
And now we got little knitters, and we got little Iris.
I'm so happy for you, brother. I love you, Phil. She's so beautiful. That was awesome. I hope y'all enjoyed that. Like I said, Phil's my brother. Phil's my brother. He's a great guy. I love him. The People's Liberty. Yeah, little baby. You know, I don't get involved in other people's disputes between auditors and auditors. I wish that all auditors would get along. Oh, I see. Now I know what you was talking about. Emma, now I see what you're talking about. You so funny, girl. The most precious thing in my life is my kids. I heard that, People's Liberty. I'm so pro-life. I'm definitely against I'm even against the death penalty. And, people don't understand why. And they're like, well, if they murder somebody, I'm like, well, still, we don't have the right. Only God has the right to take your life. Unless, now I'm pro Second Amendment and I'm pro protecting yourself or someone you love. In defense of others, you have the right to take a life if your life is about to be taken, or someone you love's life, or an innocent bystander's life. At that point, then you have the right to step in, and if you have to take that other person's life who's advancing on y'all in that situation, I totally believe in that. That's something that's self-protection. But in order to kill somebody, that maybe, they killed somebody. Well, let them sit on death row the rest of their life. That's more of a punishment than anything, and make them work out of what. Look, I don't want to pay for them. For the ones who say, "Oh, you want to pay for it?" No, I don't want to pay for it. Farms worked in the past. That's part of how this country was built. Work farms, and they grow their own food, and they have their own chickens and stuff like that, so they get their own food to eat, and they also sell the produce from the farm to help pay for the other bills. So, I mean, it works. It's worked in the past. It'll work now. And the phone's about 12%. Too cold to charge the phone and be on. I don't want to turn it off. Well, brother, I understand if you got to go. It's no problem. I appreciate you being here. I really do appreciate your support, and I love you, man. And I understand if you got to go. I hate that you got to go too. Let's see. If you agree to the death penalty, you know better than right. Exactly. See, that's my thing. Is no man on earth has the right. We can't even vote somebody in to say that's the man who's allowed to say yes, we can kill people, because the person who pulls the switch to electrocute them, or the man who pushes the button to push the injection in them, or whatever, however we're taking somebody's life, the man who did it has no authority to do it. So now at that point, didn't he commit murder, and shouldn't he be placed on trial and be brought up for murder? You know what I mean? No, that ain't how they look at it. No man on this earth has the right to do that. Film the Police, Minneapolis. How you doing, my brother? Good to see you here. Appreciate you being here, brother. But that's just my opinion. And oh man, abortion, man. Oh my Lord. Let me just go to the abortion clock. Abortionclock.org. This is like it counts it in real time. I mean, watch it. It's moving right now. It's counting abortions around the world, in the United States, and um, in different countries. In the United States today, so far, 1,955.8 babies has been murdered so far as of this second. 0.9. Now, 1,956 babies been murdered today alone. It's a shame. We've got so many people. You know how many people are waiting in line for newborn babies right now? It's so many people in the United States waiting on babies. They're going to other countries and adopting them because there's not enough newborns here. And literally, to my black brothers and sisters out there who I love dearly, do you realize since 1973, y'all have murdered 20 million of your own race? Imagine how better our United States would be with 20 million more of you here. The diversity, it wouldn't, it would be better, again, for you guys and for us all, because we would have more of our brothers and sisters here. But, Margaret Stanger, who was a racist who wanted to wipe out the black population, started Planned Parenthood to trick y'all into believing it was a good thing. It's not. They talk y'all into murdering your own babies. It's just not a good thing. We had 3 left in dumpsters in 6 months. Wow, that's terrible. Thou shalt not kill, but yet if yourselves kill someone, then go to jail. Right, exactly. Our injustice system is so screwed. How many innocent people have they killed? Well, they're killing, even though I do the stories, and I will update soon, on the people that they murder, it's about 1,000 a year. It's an average of 3 a day in the United States. But that's what we hear about. There are ones that we don't hear about. And, there are stories that I will never get the names of. There's about 30 people that I still don't have the names of. They're just unidentified, but they've been murdered by police, but they won't give the names for one reason or another. Black people didn't gain their freedom until they actually demanded the right to bear arms. Well, in all actuality, we're still not free. None of us are, no matter what color we are. You know what I mean? We're living under the guides that we're free. We want to believe that we're free, and we are living, in a pretty good country. Don't get me wrong. I love our country, and I love I actually love the death toll right now. Hold on, I'll show you. I believe in a lot about this country, but the way it's going right now, our Constitution is being cracked on, even by the Supreme Court, and even by the 2 new justices that just got put in there has already voted against our Constitution. So they're not constitutionalists. And Justice Roberts, who is supposed to be the head justice, he is not for the Constitution either. They are all for themselves. You can make no mistake about it. They're unelected, and they rewrite the Constitution when they change laws in the Constitution to fit their political party's needs. So that's just bullcrap. But hold on, I'll show you the death toll. Killed by police. Okay, it was for 2019. It was 910 people have been shot. Actually, it's a little bit more than that, because see, this hasn't updated yet. It's a little bit more than that, 910. I think the other website that I go to, which is Washington Post, has it. I think it's like 1,000 or something. But they want you to pay to go to their website, so I don't do that. But anyway, so it's about 1,000. So on average, it's about 3 a day, 2.75 a day. So on average, you round up to about 3. Such a thing called white privilege. There ain't no such thing as white privilege. Derek, you so funny. I love you, brother. We are the subject, Meek. I agree. Wait, 900 in 2020. Yeah, and in 2019. If I said 2020, I'm sorry. The deaths in 2020, I haven't calculated yet. Let me see if Washington Post try to make me pay. Hold on. sometimes I'll go there, like once a month I can go there and look at something, but then if I go there a second time, it pops up this thing saying, your free viewing is up. Pay to view the next thing. I'm like, no thanks. All right. Here we go. Let's see what it says. 1,004. They're saying 1,004 was killed in 2019. See right here, 1,004 people shot and killed by police in 2019. What I like about the database that I go to is that, and I'll show you, I'll go back to it and show you. Well, I like it better even than Washington Post is because, let me see. Oh, I closed it out. Hold on. Killed by police. The reason I like this one better is because look, when you go to it, it gives you the name and all and where they're from, but it also gives you the story to what town it was in or city and all, and you can click on it and you can read the local news. That because again, you're not going to see this stuff on mainstream media, so you literally have to go find it in the local newspapers and whatnot. But anyway, so you get to see, what the story is, or you can this one here has a video. Now, I'm not going to play it this time, like I said, but it tells you if you want to read up, and that's what I like about it. You can go find that sometimes, that the guy had a gun and was going to kill somebody. And you've even heard me say that if they got a gun and they're threatening to kill somebody, then at that point that's your own fault. Now there is ways to take people out other than guns, but for law enforcement to use, like the RF wave things I was telling y'all about, the beam things they have that my nephew in the military uses. Let's see. What is something? He's a military police. He's a first lieutenant military police. But anyway, so it's about 1,004 is what they're saying, and they're pretty accurate. They're pretty accurate. So anyway, but the website is killedbypolice.net. Y'all can go to it anytime you want and just look, and it goes back years and years and years. I mean, you just click on, see, like right here, 2013. You can go back to 2013 and click on that. They've been doing this for years. I've been following for years. I just didn't ever do a page until the last year. But, there's all the names. I mean, I read them off. I don't know if y'all seen the video. I did a video New Year's Eve, and I read off all 900 and some change names of the murdered victims. The ones that was there, like I said, there was a few that hadn't been there, but I did come back and do the ones that was killed on New Year's Day, since it wasn't updated yet. All right, let's see. I can show you a link of white people calling the police for grilling in the park. Oh, yeah. Well, I can show you videos of all kind of races calling the stupid police for stupid reasons. That don't mean people have white privilege. There's no such thing. There's no such thing as any kind of privilege. We're all as privileged as we want to be. In other words, yes, I know that, that real rich people kind of get away with more than we get away with or get to do whatever. But I'm talking about you can build your own wealth. You don't have to sit at home and be whatever. All that. There's no such thing as any kind of privilege for anybody. You can. There's people who are black, white, Mexican, Asian, of all different races who started with nothing and are billionaires now in the United States. So there's no such thing, and that's of all races. And you can look it up yourself. Look up the list of billionaires and look up how they started. For instance, Mark Cuban, he wasn't a billionaire. He started out, he was delivering, I think he said, magazines and stuff door to doors and putting himself through college and all. There's Mexicans, there's blacks, there's whites, there's all kind of people who started with nothing and was able to build their way up. Capitalism is a great thing. The United States, the capitalism in the United States is great, and it does And you can, you can, like me, like I told y'all, I started my business because, I was working for a man and he would come to work drunk on Saturday or hungover on Saturday and cuss us like dogs, and we're out there making him money. Finally, I saved enough money. I didn't finish the store the other night. I saved enough money. I bought me a pressure washer. I bought me a ladder. I put it in the back of my Celica GT hatchback. I'd raise up the hatchback. I would push the passenger seat all the way forward and lean it forward because it was a two-door, so the seat leaned forward and touched the dashboard. I would put a 24-foot ladder, which was 12 foot when it was collapsed, in the back of the hatchback, sticking out the back of the hatchback. I put the pressure washer on the left side of the open hatchback, gallons of cleaner and a gas can in the back with a water hose, and I started my business, and look at me now. And that was 35 years ago. Now, of course, I was selling marijuana back then, years and years ago, and that, so the businesses was kind of a front. But I changed my life, and I don't do nothing illegal anymore, and I'm totally straight and legit. But look where I, came from, and it's all from hard work. Now, I'm not no millionaire by any means, but I make a real good living, and it's all because of my hard work. I ain't got no education whatsoever. But again, they get away with murder for killing her. Well, but see there, come on, Derek, because there's black cops that get away with it too. I just showed you this week of black cops getting away with murdering people, and so let's not bring race into it. It's a bad thing when anybody injustice happens to anybody, but to say that there's white privilege is just not true. That's just not true. There's no such thing as anybody having privilege in the United States. You are what you make yourself, and if you want to believe that the white man's bad and all that, and that we got more privilege than any other race, it's just not true. I'm gonna tell you what. I came from a mother who, we wasn't rich. We wasn't poor either. My mom worked her behind off, like I said, delivering 400 newspapers a night and working at a hospital for 35 years to make sure we had everything that we had. But I was able to grow up with no education because I refused to do school, and they had me on Ritalin and all kind of different things, and over the years, and I was never able um, to enjoy school enough to where I wanted to do good. I ended up getting expelled and never doing the right thing in school. But look at me, I built my own business, and I'm a master plumber, master electrician. There ain't nothing I can't do. Make you a mod, but that's, I just don't believe in that. I don't believe in using. I mean, now in today's age, the it's not like that, man. I have so many friends of diverse color and religions and backgrounds that see you later too, buddy. I hope you have a good night. I hope I didn't offend you. I'm just being honest. I don't believe that whites have any more privileges than blacks or any other color. I mean, look at all the black millionaires and billionaires that are in the United States. If that was the case, that whites was so privileged that we wouldn't have. I mean, look at Jay-Z, look at Beyonce, look at Kion West, whatever his name is. I'm sorry. I ain't pronouncing it right. I know. I mean, it's just look at Kobe Bryant. I mean, just look. I'm just telling you the truth. So, yeah, black president twice. I mean, and white people voted for him. So, make no mistake about it. Um, the racism of yesterday is not here today. I mean, don't get me wrong. We still have racism, and we're always going to have that. No, yes, sir. You're a mod, and you're part of our family. We hope you come back and join us every time I'm here. And I hope I hadn't offended nobody in chat tonight. I'm not trying to. I just don't believe in using race as an excuse for anything. We're not in that day anymore. Anybody of any color can be anything they want to be. They just gotta put the thinking cap on and figure it out how they gonna get where they want to be. And don't get me wrong, I've had people in my life that's helped me do a lot of things, and that's why I'm glad to help people. I think a lot of you on here know, and the ones that are on here, and I'm not calling anybody out, know that I have helped and I will help a lot of people and or anybody if I can, and and that's just part of me trying to give back because I feel like I'm blessed and my life has been blessed with and being fortunate with things. So, but Derek, I love you, brother. I love you with all my heart, and you're my brother, and I hope you come back. And I didn't mean to offend you if I did. I'm not trying to. Oh yeah, racism does, it does exist, of course, but again, it's not, yeah, and black people can be racist. That's true. That's true. Anybody can be racist. I don't care what color you are. If you don't like another race, if you're white and you don't like blacks or Germans or Asians or Chinese or Japanese, then you're racist. And if you're black and you don't like whites and you don't like Chinese or Japanese or Mexican, then you're racist. I mean, that's just all it is to it. Anybody can be racist. You just don't like the other race. Anyone else hate Eskimos? You're crazy. Uh, You got a lot of friends and good jobs that they graduate. Yeah, well, there's I got people who went to college, friends of mine that went to college and that's actually worked for me, making more money working for me over the years than they would have if they would have went in their field that they had a college degree for. I got some of them that couldn't even get a job after they got out of college. College don't mean everything. Well, I'm gonna go ahead and let y'all say y'all's goodbyes to everybody. Las Vegas Freedom News. Let me go ahead and make you a mod. Thank you for being here. I appreciate you showing up. Hope you come back. Las Vegas Freedom News. Let's see. I like all people. I just don't like dirty, nasty piggies. Yeah, me neither. Me neither. You're a good man. You're a good man. Thank you, Louie. I appreciate it. I try. I really do. And I'm not perfect and I make mistakes. That's not to say that people don't have a good reason to dislike a certain race. You don't have to know what happened in their lives to get them the point that they are at. Oh, make no mistake, and I'm not saying that. I'm just saying, and I'm not saying that there ain't racism. I mean, we still have idiot groups like the KKK and things like that. I mean, don't get me wrong, there is racism, although there's smaller groups than ever before. But I'm just saying it's not as prevalent. They're out there where like some people are trying to make it sound like it's still like in the 1960s, and it's just not. It's just not. There are so many um, multi-millionaires and billionaires of all races here in the United States and around the world. Look at the owner of BBT. Uh, I mean, Black Entertainment Television. He's a multi-billionaire, man. He built his company from the ground up. You know what I mean? I mean, he's something to be. He's someone to admire. Um, but anyway, good night to everybody. Hope everybody has a great night. I hope God blesses everyone. Um, please keep Harry Bonsell in your prayers. Remember that he had a death in his family recently, and Anon One has been sick, and we need to remember him. Uh, Also need to remember Sewer Dog, who's having some bad headaches right now, and he says, "Slow down in the work zones," because he almost got hit by a car the other day, and so he's telling everybody to please make sure when there's work zones that workers like him want to make it home to their families. So when there's a work zone, slow down, pay attention, and don't be on your phone or changing your radio dial. Get through the work zone. Joe Public. I took lots of drugs, but I think I will be okay. You so crazy. I love you, brother. I appreciate you being here. I was just ending it though. You coming in at close to the end, but I thank you for showing up, and I really appreciate you being here. And, good night to everyone. Now, I'll be off tomorrow for Saturday. I may do a random video, but Sunday I will be cooking. I'll have my cooking show Sunday, and it'll be something great. I still haven't decided what yet, but it'll be something really good, and I hope y'all join me for that. That being said, y'all go to High Desert Community Channel's Community Watches channel and on his video and of his beautiful baby, and send him some love and tell him how much you care about him and happy for him. Okay, and just know that I love you all. If anybody needs to call, please feel free to reach out 843-554-4336. 843-554-4336. And if you need to email, then feel free to do that. armenhammer42@gmail.com. ARMEN42@gmail.com. I love you guys. God bless everyone. Whoa.